A proper chef will first lay out the key ingredients to his or her dish. The marinade for the dish must be prepared, and for that I would recommend a Voltaire and a Jean-Jacques Rousseau. This marinade will go over well as it will be infused in every flavor of the main course. Rousseau should provide a proper base for the taste of the dish, as his beliefs will bring out the important human rights and equality aspects of the French Revolution. His document General Will provide an admirable taste for the dish that will complement further ingredients. Voltaire will provide the dish with a certain edge that is necessary to highlight certain class issues that are apparent in France at this time. At the moment, conflict between the elite and the bourgeoisie are constantly at odds. If you're having trouble finding them, these ingredients can be found at your local Enlightenment store. Any well-prepared meal should be complemented with a proper sauce. For this dish, a 98% sauce comes highly recommended. The sauce is made up of 98% of the population of France that feels unheard and mistreated. This sauce is tired of famine and starvation, a poorly functioning economy, and have no say in the government. This sauce will provide the dish with a big spicy kick. This sauce is mean and belligerent and will be willing to work with the other ingredients. For the main course that will be placed in our philosophy marinade and drizzled with 98% sauce is a charismatic leader beef. There's only one man that I can think of as a charismatic leader for this beef.
And his name is John Cena!
I'm sorry, John Cena, but you have nothing on Robespierre. The best beef for such a dish would be a French-raised Maximilien Robespierre. Robespierre has a very dynamic taste. This lawyer has a strong dedication to the law and justice, and is a master of rhetoric. He was the president of the Third Estate. He's strong and educated, and he will blend very nicely with the 98% sauce and complement the marinade as Robespierre and Rousseau go very well together. As a side, you'll need the ingredient for warring social classes. This is an integral part of the dish, as it will serve as a driving force for the French Revolution. The warring social class is a smaller portioned item, but will give more flavor to the other ingredients and pieces of the dish. It'll also be covered in a 98% sauce. Any proper meal will be accompanied with a delicious beverage at its side. For this, we recommend the Declaration of Rights of Man. This is something that the French Revolution will want to keep having every so often, to infuse it with a spirit of rights, equality, liberty, property, security, and resistance to all oppression. Lastly, an optional garnish will be added atop this dish of feminism. The women of France provide a nice, refreshing, and empowering kick atop the dish. Their Women's March will empower the 98%, and they will serve as an important leg up on the revolution, as a bigger size revolution will always do the trick.
As with any French Revolution dish, it must undergo phases for a certain time. For the first phase, preheat the oven for about 3 to 4 minutes. The heat provided by Louis XVI's taxes, class conflicts, luxurious lifestyle, and disapproval of assembly is more than enough to get this revolution started. Under this phase of the cooking, let the revolution boil for about 3 to 4 minutes. As the revolution is boiling, you might be thinking, what's the role of monarchy in the aristocracy? But most importantly, how should the common man be represented in regards to the basic constitutional rights and equality in front of the law? No need to fear, a pint size of Rousseau, General Will, marinade, and Voltaire will do the job. Second phase, grill in very high heat for another 3 to 4 minutes. After cooking the revolution from the oven, the heat must go on. It's very important to maintain all the juices and tension of the revolution within it for a tasteful flavor. Quickly apply the revolution into a hot stove. On the side, begin to cook up your 98% charismatic leader beef, aka Robespierre. This beef will complement the marinade and establish the French Republic. Keep in mind, do not forget about the revolution itself. If overcooked, it can cause a period of terror in the kitchen.
Finally, to finish up this recipe, Louis XVI must be executed by the means of the guillotine. Make sure to take your time and do not get ahead of yourself. There's no corn in this recipe, don't worry. After the execution of Louis XVI, you may want to add Napoleon for taste. It is very important to note that you should only add Napoleon if you see there's a loss of texture or military control. Also note that the addition of Napoleon will mark the end of the French Republic. Once Napoleon is added, you should see wars starting to break out. Don't worry, these wars are called the Napoleonic Wars. Stir Napoleon into the wars for 5 to 10 minutes for the conflict to fuse. It is also important to note that the feminism garnish will be removed from the recipe. This must be done before adding Napoleon because they do not blend well together. Once these rights for women are removed from the recipe, the Napoleon can be added and can settle. Once settled, you will be on your way to completing the recipe and ending your French Revolution. In 1815, you will see that the wars are over, but your Napoleon will dissolve. After all of these steps, your French Revolution will be a thing of the past. Enjoy your meal.